And now to our major story of the day. IPOB leader, or the man they call the self-acclaimed leader of IPOB, Mr. Nnamdi Kanu, has not been seen in public since September this year. That is not a story for today. Today, he was expected to appear before a high court in Abuja, where he's facing trial for treason, but he failed to show up. And here is a little premise. Nnamdi Kanu was granted bail in August and conditions were given. The conditions are: first, Mr. Kanu must not hold rallies. He must not grant interviews. He must not be in a crowd of more than 10 people. He must provide 3 sureties in the sum of 100 million naira each. One of the sureties, the court says, must be a senior, highly placed person of Igbo extraction, such as a senator of the Federal Republic. The second surety must be a highly respected Jewish leader, since Mr. Kanu claimed his religion is Judaism. The third surety must be a highly respected person who owns landed property and resident in Abuja, the nation's capital. The IPOB leader must also deposit his Nigerian passport. He must also deposit his British passport with the court. He must also provide the court with reports on the progress of his health and treatment on a monthly basis. The order for him to deposit his Nigerian and British passports also means he cannot travel out of the country. If this is considered, it is the 13th condition. And now, there is a bit of an attention on the sureties, which have now been asked to produce the IPOB leader or face the music. One of them has seen a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria from Abia State, Senator Eyina Abaribe, a former deputy governor of that state, has now applied to be discharged as a surety to Mr. Nnamdi Kanu. He said the last time he saw him was when he invited him to his house. Well, Channels Television aired that story on that day. I remember vividly now, 23rd of August, 2017. And here is what the senator said. Take a listen.
Not continue this nation the way it is. There must be a restructuring. There must be devolution of power. There must be a discussion by the component parts of this country to make sure that each and every one in this country will have, to borrow the words of Obama, a better union.
I will not do anything that will bring dishonor or shame to our people. I'll never do it. IPOB will never be violent. We will never be armed. So there is no need for people to be afraid of the internal operations of IPOB, because we will never, ever, ever resort to armed violence.
Well, let's dig deep to the heart of the matter. Tonight, I have a senior advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Mike Ozekhome, because sometimes in law, we need to split all of these issues and make sense of it. He's in our Abuja studio, and we also have a senior Nigerian journalist who is a senior editor and columnist with the Guardian newspaper, Mr. Martins Onoja, here in our Lagos studio. But let's begin in Abuja, where the senior lawyer is there. Mr. Chief Mike Ozekhome, let me start by saying a happy birthday to you. You celebrated your 60th birthday recently. Happy birthday to you. And on that note, let's begin the conversation tonight. Fill us into what the implications, legally speaking this time, of the when someone jumps bail, someone who is facing a treason charge in a Nigerian court. Out of the 11 charges, about 6 or so were dropped. Now that he's jumped bail, they cannot find him for the surety, especially for Senator Eyina Abaribe, who has prayed the court to discharge him of the burden of being a surety. What is the implication?
Well, let me start by thanking you and all Nigerians for their good wishes for my birthday, which I will celebrate by God's grace on the 21st, but I was 60 on the 15th. I will thank all of you. On the question you have asked, we have to first know what is bail. Bail is the process. It's more like a contract between the court and an accused person or a defendant and a surety that, look, I will let you go home instead of keeping you in prison, maybe Kuje prison, Kere prison. You will go home. But I will want someone to stand recognizance for you, to stand in your place. That person is called the surety, who will pay a certain amount in the event that you refuse to come for your trial, or who will himself go to prison if he cannot produce you. So bail essentially, therefore, is a contract involving this, is a tripartite contract involving the court, the accused person or the defendant, and the surety. And bail essentially also is meant to simply enlist the attendance of a defendant in court when the matter comes up. So that is why it is not supposed to be punitive or to be excessive. It has to be moderate.